It's Sunday, February 16th. I'm Jim Sullivan with your video forecast for NeoWeather.com. Looking at the radar this morning across Ohio, we have some snow moving through. There's a nice burst of snow moving through the Cleveland metro here as of 10:15. That's not going to last too long. However, if you're going out before about noon or 1 o'clock, you might deal with some reduced visibilities and slick roads. It'll get better after that. Looking across the entire country now, not a whole lot going on. There's some snow in eastern Maine. That's associated with a system that actually brought blizzard conditions to extreme southeastern New England last night. I'm talking Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard, and Nantucket. That's pulling away. You can see our little disturbance. It's just a little area of snow. That's about it. There's more rain and mountain snow in the west, and there's a whole lot of energy that's going to work through the west and then move out into the plains and eventually farther east. So we are going to have a lot of storm systems to track over the next week, but right now nothing too huge going on. Coming back to Cleveland, looking at the numbers, yesterday we did 24 and 11. That was well below the averages of 38 and 24. 38 would feel warm. Trace of precipitation that happens yesterday. That was just a few snow flurries. We're running a little above normal on the monthly precipitation, a little below normal on the year. We're setting the sun after 6 o'clock tonight. All right, moving on now, looking ahead. The rest of today, models show snow continuing for a few more hours. Models are kind of underdoing how heavy the snow is right now, so like we just showed you on radar, there could be some moderate bursts of snow into the early afternoon before that starts dwindling. Here we are at 3 o'clock, snow really starting to pull out. We're down to just some scattered snow showers by late this afternoon, and as we head into this evening, we start hopefully clearing out maybe just a few flurries in Lake or Ashtabula counties downwind of Lake Erie, but I don't expect them to add up to anything. So your forecast for today, nothing too complicated. Snow showers continuing into the afternoon, starting to taper by evening, and hopefully by tonight we'll be dry, save for maybe a couple of flurries well east of Cleveland. Tonight, if we do in fact clear out, we'll drop into the single digits pretty easily. South winds today shifting to the north by evening, 5 to 10 miles an hour. All right, so looking past tonight, here we are at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. No snow in the area. That's actually high pressure that the model is showing over Lake Erie. So we're going to start the day out Monday with some sunshine. However, as we head towards later in the afternoon, this is 4 o'clock, some snow spreading in. As we get to 7 o'clock, the snow getting closer to Cleveland, and you can see this is going to be a quick hitting but briefly heavy area of snow tomorrow evening. Here we are at 10 o'clock. The heaviest snow already east of Cleveland, so it's a quick shot, but it could snow hard tomorrow evening for a little bit. Low pressure is expected to track north of Lake Erie. Here we are at 1 in the morning. The snow pretty much off to the east, low pressure to our north. So as you can see, it's like a 3-hour shot for good snow. So I'm going to go with 1 to 3 inches because it's such a short shot. Also because when you get a low pressure tracking to your north, it tries to pull in some warmer, drier air, especially aloft. So I'm not convinced that we don't go over to freezing drizzle at some point by midnight tomorrow night, or even drizzle. Temperatures could actually leak a degree or two above freezing. So long story short, about a 3-hour shot of moderate to possibly heavy at times snow tomorrow evening, between about 6 o'clock and midnight from west to east. I'm going 1 to 3 inches. The forecaster tomorrow is hell-bent on 2 to 5, so that's probably what he's going to go with. I'm going with 1 to 3. It's just such a quick shot. And we'll go from there. All right, looking at the big picture forecast charts now. Big zoomed-out version so I can show you what's going on. If you recall, last Sunday I told you that we're going to get huge polar vortex to develop over Alaska by this week, and that usually floods the continental U.S. with Pacific air, which is milder. And you can see that we get a little system to move through Ohio tomorrow night, and it actually warms up behind it. It doesn't get colder. It's because Pacific air moving in. Now, the first half of the work week, it'll be milder, but it won't be too warm. The bigger change will come for the second half of the work week because this vortex is going to send a piece of energy down into the western U.S. That's going to carve out a trough of low pressure there and actually allow a southwesterly flow to develop over the eastern U.S. by Thursday and Friday, and you can see that sends a good amount of warm air northward and eastward into the eastern U.S. Now, unfortunately, by the time we get to the end of the work week and into next weekend, the big vortex over Alaska weakens, and we actually get a high pressure to build all the way into Alaska along the west coast. So that's going to cut off the Pacific air. That means colder air will be free to move into the continental U.S. by the time we get to next weekend, and you can see we start getting colder air to filter south. Now, through next Saturday, the cold air should stay to our west, so we should stay mild. But this is a pretty tall ridge of high pressure that the model is showing, and we have the potential to have some pretty cold air. So right now it looks like after this warm-up over the next week, we're going to see a return to more wintry weather and probably below normal temperatures through at least the first week of March. We'll see what happens after that. All right, so on your 7-day forecast, late snow chance tomorrow into tomorrow night. The bulk of the precipitation will fall as snow, but it may change to drizzle or freezing drizzle for a time in the middle of the night. Temperatures near 30 tomorrow, in the mid to upper 20s tomorrow night. I'm going with 1 to 3 inches, but like I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, not all of the NEO-weather forecasters agree. We are allowed to disagree, so you might get a different forecast tonight, and that's perfectly fine. Tuesday, Wednesday, we dry out and start warming up, near 40 both days, and we'll start melting a little snow. Wednesday night, we might get a surge of moisture with colder air near the ground, which might allow for a little bit of freezing rain. It won't be much. Either way, by Thursday, we really warm up. That 52 could be conservative. Rain is likely Thursday into Thursday night, maybe even a rumble of thunder, and that's when we'll need to watch for some flooding Thursday into Thursday night, because we'll start melting the snow quickly, and it might rain pretty heavily for a time. Friday, I'm shooting for a dry day, still pretty mild, into next weekend with another chance of rain for Saturday. Again, I'm Jim Sullivan. Thanks for watching. Check us out again tomorrow.